Hey guys, Michelle here, and I don't know about you guys, but I've had a little bit of a change in my life and what I normally do now that we are in, I don't know, I think we're about day 10, could be longer, of our quarantine. But I am super stiff in my upper and mid back, mostly because I've changed things that I'm doing. I'm not powerlifting, I'm very sad about that. I'm sitting in a chair a lot trying to do my work from a chair, which is really hard for an athletic trainer who normally interacts with athletes on a daily basis and does rehab and moves around a lot. And also I've started taking on a home improvement project, and I'm removing carpeting and now tiles. So I've been hunched over and doing some crazy things. So I kind of figured a bunch of other people might have this problem too. So I'm going to show you a few of my favorite ways to help loosen up the upper and mid back. The first thing that you might need, and you probably have one around the house, is some type of hard rubber ball. This is a lacrosse ball. We are social distancing, so you shouldn't go out and buy one, but if you Amazon it, it might take about a month. But what we're going to do is use this wall, and I'm going to put it in behind me, so it's in between where my shoulder blade sits and my spine. Oops, it went down a little bit too low, but I'm going to kind of pin it there between my body and the wall, and I'm going to roll up and down. Ooh, that's a nice spot. And it's kind of like giving yourself a massage. So the more I push into it, the more I feel it. And you can kind of decide how much pressure you want. It's much easier than having to try to ask your significant other for an upper back massage, and a lot cheaper than actually going for a massage. But kind of going up and down between your shoulder blade and spine. And then secondarily, we're going to go from the side and hit this kind of armpity area. This is kind of where the lat sits and where all the rotator cuff muscles sit. So I'm going to do that over here. Same thing, I'm going to roll around, find a good spot, and then I can externally rotate my arm going through there. You might be able to see this if I do this here. I don't know if I framed the camera right, but kind of hitting that spot right there. Ooh, that's a good spot for me. The other area, and I'm not going to show you this one for too long, is to do the chest right under the collarbone. So you'd be rolling it around through here, and if you want to be so dangerous, you can go inside on the sternum, right inside the chest tissue there. But it would look like this. So you're going to put your arm out and roll that front chest area. And especially when you're in this armpity area, right in where the pectoral muscles sit, you're going to find some spots that are pretty tight. You know, all the things that we do, kind of typing, driving, texting, we get really tight back there, and we kind of get that hunched over look. And this is a great way to kind of loosen that area up. The next one I like doing is foam rolling. So this is the only foam roller I have at the house. It's got the nubs on it. That's like a personal preference thing. I kind of wish I hadn't left my 3-foot long one back in Massachusetts when I moved, but honestly there wasn't enough room, and I'll just have to buy a new one at some point. But we're going to set this up and lean into it so it's just below your shoulder blades. We're not going into the low back here. All right, we're going to put our hands behind our head to support our neck. We're going to lift our butt up and just roll up towards the top. Now you might actually hear the pops and cracks that I'm feeling. Ooh, some good stuff in there. All right, so I like to have people do it a few times with their elbows out, and then bring those elbows in and really open up that space in between your shoulder blades. All right, so after you go through that for a little bit, I like to have a little time to just try to extend over it. So I'm going to try to keep my ribs and my hips down, so it's kind of keep my abs tight, and lean back over it as far as I can, like I'm trying to arch through my mid-back, or my upper back. You know, it's almost like the idea of bending the rib cage backwards. Oh, this is really, really tight. Some people can get a lot more movement in here. So about a 5-second hold for each, then like roll yourself up about an inch and just lean back over it. You can also breathe a little bit. Take a breath in and let it out and just kind of fall over it. All right, starting to feel better already. I'm going to set that off to the side. And another one that you can do at home, and this all you need is a broomstick. This is actually a dowel rod that I have. We're going to hold it palms up. I'm going to use a chair. You can use a couch or maybe a chair. We're going to put our elbows up on it. We're going to sit our butt into our hips and then bring our arms over and breathe out. So what I'm doing in here is I'm feeling a big stretch through my lat and I'm trying to drop my chest down to the floor. If you find other videos of this exercise, you'll find people that are a lot more flexible through their upper thoracic spine than I am. We can't win them all, and flexibility in my upper thoracic spine isn't something I've been noted for. So for that one, I like to hold it for about 5 seconds and do about 5 reps. This next one, I sometimes use a band to help me with, but I'm going to do it without the band so that in case you don't have one, you can do this at home. But we're going to go hands and knees. We're going to sit our butt into our heels and bring our elbows down to our knees. So this elbow is going to stay tucked in right where it's at. I'm going to put this hand behind my back. And then my goal is to try to turn and get that shoulder to point towards the ceiling. So I'm feeling that stretch up into my upper mid-back. So we're going to do this 5 times each way. I'm trying to look up over that shoulder as I turn. All right, I'll do the other side, showing you from the front. So elbows tucked into my knee, hand behind my back, butt into my heels. I'm going to turn and look up towards the ceiling. All right, I'm going to do one last one, and this one I really love doing while laying on a long foam roller so that it's along my spine, but like I said, I don't have mine, so we're going to do it without. All right, so imagine that I'm laying on a foam roller. We're going to tuck our hips so our back is flat so there's no arch under your back. Let's move that down a little bit here. Sure. Whee. All right. So back is flat. Hi Ace, how are you? It's not playing time. All right, and then we're going to hold our stick up over our head, right at shoulder height, elbows straight. All right, I'm going to keep my back flat. I'm going to bring my arms over my head. Now, if I was on the foam roller, my goal is to actually get it down to the floor. To be quite honest, for me, with my back flat on the ground, this is a challenge. Once we get our arms down up as far as we can, we're going to bring our elbows down in and try to tuck that in towards our head, back out and up. So we're going to reach up and over. If you really want to see what this one looks like laying on the foam roller, I do have a video of that from the past I can send you. All right, I think I said one last one, but we're going to do one more. The last one is going to be our traditional cat-camel from yoga, but we're going to do it slightly differently. So with this, our goal is to move each segment on its own. So we're going to start tucking our hips under, rolling up, and then all the way to looking through my knees. And then I'm going to use my eyes to start looking up and lower my back, lower my chest, then lower my low back, and then go back from the bottom. And I can start from the bottom all the way up. I'm going a little too fast here. But basically trying to get as much motion as we can, do a little bit side to side. I don't know. If you did that along with me, hopefully you feel a little bit better just like I do. If you have any questions, shoot me a message.